As I ran with my new wife, Adia, at my side in her black tactical body armor, my sister was calling out over the communication channel we set up, being relayed from the old-fashioned tactical network subframe on the last Hercules-class megacarrier, the USS Valor. "Left in 40 feet, April." Then she added, "Are you in position, Yaiko?" Even after 5 years in this new hellscape the world has become, it was still surreal hearing my sis speaking in my voice, or I suppose it's her voice, and I was getting a headache again just thinking about it. I didn't need to go down that particular rabbit hole again. I get tired of the same old existential crisis. Instead, I just looked around in my augmented reality vision as tactical information was displayed by the pseudo-frame that was built into me. My eyes snapped high above us to see a shadow leaping from one of the towering structures, which looked to be built from scavenged scrap, pre-framefall here in the Australian expanse. How does she do that and make it look so effortless? The former Banshee of the Kashima Corporation responded, "Hi, Keiko-chan." I looked from this section of the harbor, which had some semblance of an electrical grid restored, back to the looming shadow of the Valor anchored near the mile-wide dock, which has been mostly rebuilt after the Battle of New Adelaide, where the mega-corporations were working together to obtain the secrets of my father about the Gemini Protocol, the military chrome tech that was beyond even next-generation biotech. And Dad was on the channel. "Head in the game, mini-mites." Keiko and I droned out, "Yes, Dad." I looked back to where the real April, or the original April, whom I thought was dead until just before the fall, was hiding in the shadows with her old-style frame headset, typing frantically in the air as our little toaster bot, Toasty, circled her feet protectively. I could see glowing electronic eyes moving all around the ground and walls of the alley she was in. The Oracle's pixie bots. I silently thanked Callie for being so protective of my frail sis and tasking a metric shit ton of the tiny bots to her whenever Keiko insisted on joining us on a mission. Turning my attention back to the task at hand, we turned left just to run into a towering gate across the alley. Adia whispered to me, "Love?" I nodded and shouldered my non-lethal pacification weapon, the stun rifle, draping across my back, as I grabbed the lock and then concentrated like I've been practicing the past 5 years to bypass the lockouts Dad had installed in me to keep the charade of normal human strength and speed unless I was in danger and all lockouts are lifted. With a quick twist, the shackle of the lock snapped, and then I winced, squinting an eye and looking at my hand as I whispered, "Ow!" That was going to bruise the flesh of my hand that covered my almost unbreakable artificial skeleton. Okay, so I still haven't figured out how the pain muting that occurs when I'm in a fight works. My girl winked at me and whispered, "Don't be a big baby. Let's go." Yaiko called out, "Target is entering a service entrance, April-san. Should I terminate?" Callie, Dad, Adia, and I all blurted in unison, "No!" I exhaled in exasperation and explained again. "We will never want a target terminated. We've talked about this, Yaiko, on many occasions." In the same cold tone she always spoke in, she replied, "It was a joke, April-san." That caused me to stutter step, then look up to try to see her up there somewhere. My heads-up display highlighting her as she slipped inside an open window, as elusive as smoke. The former assassin has been getting more relaxed from her military-style discipline. I think she feels that she doesn't belong anywhere now that the bulk of the megacorps are now defunct, and she is trying to fit in with us. Her humor needs some work, obviously. Well, just, don't.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.